everybody. Welcome back to our channel. I just realized that I hadn't updated you guys in a very long time, so that's what I'm here to do. If you've been following mine and my husband's journey, then you know that he recently had a testicular biopsy done to see if we were able to retrieve any sperm for IVF. So I'm going to talk about whether that was successful or not, and a little bit about what went into leading up to the biopsy and how he felt during the procedure, etc. So the first thing that I'm going to update you guys on is his testosterone level. As I'm sure you know if you've been watching our last few videos, his testosterone level was only at 188 when it was checked about 2 months ago. So his doctor, which is a very good urologist who specializes in azoospermia, actually recommended that he go on Clomid, which is it's typically a drug prescribed to women for infertility, but it can also be used for men as well, for male infertility, and also for raising testosterone levels in men that want to preserve their fertility. Because if you didn't know, regular testosterone replacement therapy, it can pretty much render a man completely infertile. So that's not what we wanted to do. I mean, he's already got azoospermia, so we didn't want to make him even more infertile than he already was and decrease his chances of finding viable sperm in the TESE procedure. So anyway, after about 4 weeks, we went back to the doctor and they tested his testosterone level, and I'm happy to say that it went up from 188 to 500 and I think 540 or 50. So it really went up. So we were very thrilled about that because that's in the normal range, and he had mentioned to me that he has felt a lot better since his testosterone came up. He's had more energy, he's been staying up later, he's been in a better mood, he hasn't been feeling as down. There's just been so many benefits since he started taking Clomid. So if you are a man watching this that has low testosterone, I highly recommend that you check with your doctor about starting Clomid instead of testosterone replacement therapy. Of course, testosterone replacement therapy is also an option if you're an older man and you don't plan to father a child in the future. But Clomid is a much better option for a young man who may be suffering from low testosterone. So on Thursday, March 8th, my husband went for a testicular biopsy procedure. Here he is. And we were very nervous going into the procedure because we weren't sure if they would find anything. We were at the point where we didn't even know yet whether or not his azoospermia was due to an obstruction or whether it was non-obstructive. We just had no idea. His hormone levels, his FSH and his LH were normal, but his testosterone was low, so that was the one thing that didn't really fit with obstructive azoospermia. So we just had no idea what could be causing it. So we decided to go through with a testicular biopsy just to see what would happen. So when we got there, they took him back, and we had to arrive 2 hours before the actual procedure. So there was a lot of waiting around at the very beginning. But right before the surgery, the doctor came in and explained to us that he was going to be performing the surgery. And he said that if they found sperm right away, the surgery might only last 30 or 40 minutes. But if they were unsuccessful in finding sperm, then they would have to go to his second testicle and maybe possibly make 2 or 3 incisions and fish around in there for a long time looking for sperm. So both of us were really hoping that that would not be the case, because not only would that take longer, but it would really extend the recovery period and probably make things a lot worse. So luckily, when I went in the waiting room, after about 30 minutes, the nurse came out and she said, "Mrs. Seamster," she called my name, and I knew right away that it was good news because she had something in her hand, and it was a vial. It was a vial of sperm, so that was really good news. And we had a lot of support while we were in that waiting room. His parents both came. My mom was there, and everybody was just so happy that they found sperm. So right away, while he was still in recovery, my mom and I went to the reproductive endocrinologist, which was only a few miles away, to get the sperm put in the freezer, and we dropped it off and they froze it. So at that point, I wasn't really sure how good the sperm was yet, or really anything about the sperm. So I had to wait for the embryologist to give us a call to let us know more information about the sperm. And a couple hours later, I got a phone call, and it was really good news. We found out that there were thousands of sperm, and I would have been happy with 10, 20, 30 sperm, because that's all they find in some men. But there were thousands of sperm. She was able to freeze 3 vials of sperm for us, and actually 4 vials. One vial is going to be used as a backup vial. She said it mostly contains testicular tissue and not really probably many viable sperm, but it can be used as an absolute backup vial if we need it. But we got 3 good vials, and each vial contains thousands of sperm. And we found out that his azoospermia was most likely caused by an obstruction, because our doctor was able to find the sperm right away when he went in there. And we have a pretty good idea of what caused the obstruction in the first place. It was when he had 2 inguinal hernia procedures done years ago. More than likely, they probably, when they went in to fix the hernias, they may have accidentally scarred his vas deferens or done a little something to keep his sperm from being able to come out. So luckily it was a plumbing problem and not a production problem. So when they went in there, they saw it all blocked up in there, and they were able just to get it on out. And the sperm right now is waiting for us at the New Hope Center, where we will be going through IVF with ICSI. And yesterday, while he was resting yesterday, I went to a consultation there. And I really, really love the reproductive endocrinologist that I spoke with there. She spent a lot of time with us. She was very thorough. She was very optimistic that we will be able to get pregnant this way. And I got a really good feeling there, and I feel like they truly care. I feel like the whole team really cares about success, and they were very optimistic about my age. With me being only 24, they said that they expect me to produce a lot of eggs. Even though I have PCOS, they do expect me to produce a lot of eggs and hopefully have a lot of embryos. And basically, now that they've got the sperm and they've got thousands of sperm frozen, male factor is not going to be an issue. So we have a tentative date to start IVF. I've actually already started birth control. Birth control is basically they have you start that for about a month prior to actually taking medications, because you just want to make sure that none of your follicles grow too large, and they want everybody to pretty much be in sync for each IVF cycle. They run probably 2 IVF cycles a month, so they want to get a group together. So I started the birth control. The doctor recommended that I double up on my metformin to keep my PCOS under control. So I'm now taking 1,000 milligrams of metformin. Yesterday I took a double dose of the birth control that's required, and today I'll just go back to taking a single dose. But I was kind of nervous about the birth control and the metformin and just taking so much medication. Last night I was worried that I might feel sick, or I might have a problem with all that medicine, but luckily everything is pretty much, I haven't had any side effects whatsoever, so that's really good news. A lot of people have talked about how with metformin, they have symptoms, or it makes them sick, or throwing up, or when you have to take a lot of birth control at one time, 2 pills instead of 1, you get nauseous, and I didn't experience any of that, so I'm hoping that's a good sign for what's to come when I end up having to start the more aggressive IVF treatments. So I'm not going to give a start date yet because everything's tentative right now, but I will say that we will be getting started with IVF very, very soon, and I'm really excited about it. Now our doctor did say that it's possible, since I have PCOS, I am at a little bit of a higher risk for, I think it's called ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, OHSS, or something like that. And basically that would mean that I wouldn't be able to go through a fresh transfer right away. I would have to do a freeze-all on my eggs and embryos. And what that would mean would be I would have to give my body about a month to recover. And it would cost a little more to do that, but that would be the only option if I do hyperstimulate. So if you've been through IVF and you have PCOS, and if you have any tips on what to do to prevent over hyperstimulation of the ovaries, please comment below and just let me know your experience and whether you had to go through that or not, or whether you were able just to have a fresh transfer. So I think that was about everything that I wanted to talk about. We're really excited about getting started, and we're really happy to have a tentative start date. And I already have a little calendar with all of the IVF information on a tentative date for the egg retrieval and the embryo transfer and everything, and we're really excited. We're going to cover all bases for just in case the sperm is not good quality. We're probably going to freeze about maybe 5, 6, 7 of my eggs and not fertilize those, so that if we have to, we can go back in and fertilize those with donor sperm. Our doctor is very confident that it won't come to that, but she did say that if I do produce a lot of eggs, it probably is a good idea just to save a few eggs, just in case it comes to that, so that I won't have to go through an egg retrieval again. Maybe that's probably a good idea. So we're very excited. We never thought that, a couple months ago, we never thought it'd be possible to have our own biological child, and now it seems like it is going to be a possibility, and I really can't wait. Can you, honey? And we're really excited about it. He's in a little bit of pain now. He's been resting all weekend from his biopsy. How's your recovery been from the testicular biopsy, honey?
The first couple of days, I was a little sore. They gave me some pain medicine and ice. Last night, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Really sharp pains. It's manageable. I don't have to be back to work till the middle of next week, so I have some time to recover and just lay around the house and sleep and just take the medication, ice. It's getting better.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him for going through it. It really means a lot to me that he went through the procedure, and now we're so glad we did, because we found so much valuable genetic material. We found just so much sperm, and we just could not be happier with the results. So we'll continue to update you guys about what continues to happen with our journey when we get closer to starting IVF, and when I start my medication and everything. So we will be updating you guys very soon, but we just wanted to get on here today to let you know that testicular biopsy was a success, and if you are struggling with azoospermia, I highly recommend going through it, because there is a high chance of success. At least in our case, we definitely don't regret going through it, because it really gave us some wonderful answers.
Best decision of my life.
Yeah, honey, I love him so much. So hopefully we'll be successful, and hopefully we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.